Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Second Thought Africa. This evening, we're going to just go straight into business. This is Yacindy Martin Player, an educator, a mother, an advocate for women and children, a patriot in a whole. My goal always is to educate, learn from you, you learn from me, meet me where I am, meet you where you are, and then advance together. So tonight I'm going to be hosting a young Liberian advocate who have been, I would say, a voice in the wilderness talking. Y'all know me, I'm always discovering young people. So I know Sis Ruth and all of you guys will come for me here. So I wanted to hear from him because I hear people saying, you're not in Liberia, you don't know what's going on, you don't know things are not the way they are. I had some government official called a couple of days ago and telling, you're not on the ground, we the one on the ground. And then we heard President Bwaka say it today. Don't mind those people that sitting on the internet. We the one here. We the one who know what's going on. So I'm gonna be talking to, or we are gonna be talking to a young, brilliant Liberian who have been very vocal. I follow him. I think you follow him. With happenings in Liberia to talk to him so he's candid with us and tell us from his vantage point. Whatever he feels comfortable with, that's what he's going to answer. So, Abraham, let me go ahead and welcome you. Okay. Again, let me bring that up. There you go. Let me bring you on. I don't know why we are live though. Let me see if I can bring you. Let me do here. There you are. Ibrahim, good evening. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm good. Thank God for life.
Okay, now your voice is low, so you got to elevate it a little bit.
Yes, I'm a little bit hoarse. You getting me now?
Yeah, but you're still low. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Maybe it's my no, my voice is high. Okay. Yeah, let's talk. Talk to us about you. I mean, you're young, you're Liberian, and I see you on Facebook, literally giving us update as to what is happening. So talk to us. If somebody asks who is Ibrahim, Ibrahim, who are you? Where who are you? Where what part of Liberia you're from? Don't say precisely where you are. We don't want people knocking on your door. Just where your parents, just whatever you feel comfortable to let us know about.
Okay, my name is Abraham King Koji. That's my full name. My
Hmm.
father is from Sango County and my mother is from Maryland. Yeah, and then as you know, I've been on the internet and pushing, but originally I'm a film producer and a director. Yeah, I have someone working on YouTube. You getting me? I'm not getting you.
Okay, Ibrahim, say something.
Yeah, I wasn't getting you just now. I only saw your lips
I
shaking.
was I was on mute. I wanted to see if I could hear you.
Oh, okay, okay. So yes, as I said, my name is Abraham King Koji.
Okay, so you are clear on the other end. That's fine. We can talk. I will just see if I can listen to you.
Okay. So originally, I'm a film director and a producer, and also activist. Because due to situation and stuff that have been going on in the country, I decided to get involved because most of our young people are going astray and they don't really understand the basics. So I volunteer, to do this. Yeah, so far so good.
Okay, I'm still listening. Go ahead. Yeah, you're talking about the young people.
Yeah. So you see, as am I answering your question like, or I should just
Okay, I am having problem hearing. Okay, okay. So a few questions for you though. Let me look here really quickly so I can have my thought together. So Abraham, you've done your introduction. Give us an overview of the nation. What do you see Liberia? Where does it stand? Where do you stand? What is happening? Especially from your point of view, the current state of the nation.
okay. For me, there are a lot of things that are going on in Liberia that is not right, and then diving into certain things or going certain places and see things that is happening. The first thing here, we have bunch of young people that is not doing anything at all, and they have a saying that say, "A idle mind is the devil workshop." There are a lot of people here that are not doing anything, and then you find out that people saying the whole thing. Let me just say this whole thing about packaging the government on social media. It was brought to light by me. The whole art of packaging the government on social media was crafted by me when we went campaign and then we succeeded. A lot of people were fighting for job. Even I think I told you before, my name was shortlisted. So I came back and said, every time on the social media, you will see this thing about abroad, this and everything about abroad. So what we do here, let's group up ourselves and package the government. So we started it. I have other pages that have been running, like been pushing all of the good work and other stuff. But I'm committed to the people. I'm not committed to any political party. I'm not committed to any individual. I'm committed to the Liberian people. So as I see things going contrary, I start to take a stand and start to talk it. Like many people in my inbox, the reason why I don't want to give all of this negative energy attention because I can just tell them one thing. I always tell them, I say, I'm not afraid of anything. People say, oh, don't show your place. You have many people reach out to me, you have to be careful, don't show where you stay and stuff. It's about Liberia, it's not about me. There are so many great people, God forbid they die and gone. Everybody, the whole world is still moving. There is nothing that will change. So when you are alive, you have to stand for what is right. And if you want to stand in fear, you will not do what is right. But for the current status in Liberia, what I expected, what I was told, is not what I'm seeing. I'm still seeing all of these things because I think I told you before, the only political party I ever run campaign for is the United Party. And nobody gave me any money, nobody paid me. Even the track suit that I always wear to run campaign, I bought it with my own money. I bought that track suit for $25. My focus, I only listen to the stand-up bearer at that time, which is President Boaga. I listen to him and listen to the other side. So I decided to buy in and say, okay, is what you're saying is the truth. Then I'm going to follow. That's how I follow. Nobody gave me anything. Nobody pay me nothing. I use my own little resources and run campaign. Now, I want to tell you, young people, one of the mistakes that we all will make, myself made a mistake. Somebody will tell you, I will do this, I will do that, I will do this. That's the message every one of us want to hear. But now, how will this person do it? It should be our greatest question now. Yes, I can stand and say, if he let me, I will build car. I don't even know how to put a fire engine together. But I just say it because I won't vote. That would have been killing us. How will you do this particular thing? You say you will do this. Jesus. LEC gone. You getting me?
Ooh, Lord have mercy.
That's a situation. I don't even have to say it. That's a situation.
Wow. Okay. The light back?
No, like my other phone light, that one I'm using.
Okay, keep going. If you're okay with that, we can see your face. That's fine.
Okay. So as I was saying,
Mm-hmm.
we we as a there are so many things I want the young people to put in place. This is Liberia. This is the only country we have. You go all around the world. The only country you can come in when policemen ask you, and you can tell the policeman when you speak Koropa, the policeman will not really bother you. This is the only country we have. So I can always tell people we have to protect this country. And people always see my post and say, "Oh, the other many you on the side of me." I'm not on any side. I'm not on any side. Like the video I did for the Honorable Yake Koruba. I don't know him. Only campaign time we used to be together, but he don't even know me like that. But it's just common logic. You want to do this thing urgently. Is it a threat? That's a simple question we're asking. Is it a threat? Is it something that if we not do, the nation going to fall? Is it something that when you're not happy, like bro, be disgraced? The same decision you went in Guinea to make, you say what is on the paper that what should be done. In 1926, delegate from Liberia went France. They sat down there and agreed and signed the paper that the river should be for Guinea. And you as a president say what is on the paper is what is what should be done. And then another person just force it up and say this thing that on the paper that what it say. You getting the logic? You say that what is on the paper that what should be done. So and the paper say this particular river is for the people. Automatically you already agree.
So Abraham, hold on. You are telling me when they went to Guinea, the paper that they signed, that Boaka agreed.
The
Okay.
1926.
Pabwaka agreed that the whatever information on the document is what we agreed to. And he sent a
Yes.
delegation to France. And they said in 1920 summer. Can you repeat that for us with clarity and so we can hear you, please?
Okay. The 1926 agreement concerning the river. There's a delegate that left from Liberia. It's just I have some of their names and went to France and signed that document. I don't know for how much, and they accept that the river bend should be the boundary between Liberia and Guinea, the river bend. So now, President Parker went there and said, we don't want confusion. We don't want conflict. While it's on the law, like why we should go back. And while it's on the law, you only get access to the reward bank. You don't get access to the reward. The reward is in Guinea. That's why you agree upon 1926. Now, another person just voiced it, or maybe you say he was not professional. That's what you say. But the same very thing you agree upon, that's the same very thing this particular man voiced out. How are you holding it against him? How are you holding it against him? We fighting for this house. Then my father come on and say, the particular house we fighting for, the person who have the mother deed, they should take the house. Then I go and do my research and come back and say the mother deed is for this and so person. How are wrong? Why me to be wrong? Two are saying the same thing. So what two are saying the same thing, and then you holding it against me now? Okay, if you say you're not saying the same thing, why the people say go pass in the land? Why the people are stay there? Who told you the people leave? The people are there because you agree. That one made the people stay there.
So, Abraham, you are telling me precisely what they agreed upon, what Waka has already done, is where Yeke busted. Is that the reason why Yeke is removed? Because Yeke exposed them?
They remove, yes. It's not exposed. They only, when, for me, the little problem I have with Yeke, the Honorable Yeke, is the way he present. But everything he say is the truth. Maybe the choice of words, maybe the way he plays it, and then someone who love this country and see things going on will always be emotion. And when you are emotional, if you have that emotional feelings, you always go outside because it will be hurting you. You will not want to keep being professional. That's the problem. But everything Honorable Yeke ever say is what is happening. Look at what he say about Beer Mountain. You go to the people hospital, they got all of the jaws there. Do you know that the horses they put building for our people, it don't have a latrine, it don't have a flush toilet, there is no toilet in it. The people are using the bush. There is no running water. And that's the reality. That's the thing the man is forcing out. So maybe they can say it's the choice of words. But it's not lie. Everything is true. Papa people here working. And do you know that most of the private entity, they are not even using your full name to pay you? There is no proper. How do you even expect somebody to even go take loan? Because loan come about, if the person is employed, the person go to the bank, they want to see the employment letter, they want to see the salary, then they can be able to structure loan for you. Then they say Librarians are not serious. Part of the people are working, 99.9% of the people working in the private sector, they are not employed. They are not employed. They don't have any letter of employment. After the 3 months, when they know you good, they just continue to use you like that. They don't want to employ you because they can remove you anytime. And this is the whole thing that we've been seeing here, so we wanted change. So if we can't get a change, then you don't want to voice it out. Somebody selling down Waterside for the next 10 years, people know that that particular person that's selling Waterside will not benefit anything. It's just simple. They know it. Why would somebody go buy a carton of soap for $25 US when they sell it, they get only $2 or $3? And you know the person will not get rich. You know it. How you helping your people? How are you helping? Let's forget about employment. Let's focus on the people who say, okay, see no job, let me go into business. Why somebody who will bring in container of sausages or container of sardine in a country, why should he be selling two pieces? Somebody who bring in whole container of sardine in the country, why the person selling two pieces? The person will sell wholesale. Then the people who not getting the money to go for the goods out of the country now, the person can go and buy the wholesale, then the person sell retail. So you see all these things happening. Then you stay telling us say that people are, if you running a country, the first year people don't have food to eat. You will never calculate on anything if you're not eating in the morning. What you can say? The first thing you'll be angry for nothing. That is why you see, even when somebody driving, when you tell the person, say, my man, you may mistake the person when insult you, because that person is frustrated. The person get family problem, the person get other situation, everything just stressful. The private sector, the people are crying every day. The people choose how much to pay you. The people don't get you day out. You work overtime, they don't pay you for it. And you just go make mistake to carry the poor complaint, forget it, you lose your job. There's a guy from the States. He called me, he was telling me a frustration. He said Golden Ferrarion get him contract. And they said to trust him, he should pre-finance the contract. He built the estate 250,000. For Golden Ferrarion to pay him, they delaying. He carry his own case to court. They may say 4 years now. His own people turning him around in the interest of Golden Ferrarion. The Liberian person will use their own finance. So they build the estate is there, they are using it to pay the man 250,000. They may say only 40,000 he now receive. They may send me all of the documents. Somebody who is also even defend and say, oh, we have an engineer that can do the students so well. They how they call it, they Mustafa Mele in prison. Any Liberian can do what I'm coming to in the country. That is space we're not getting our own people. The essay also that coming big. There are pop of Liberians that have money to do it. But the way our government, the way our people coming welcome that man, they will not welcome our own leader. They want to cook him, they want to steal from him, they want him to pay huge amount of money. They got bulk of people that want to invest in the country. There are some group from America. They say if the government gave them a certain amount of money for loan, I don't really want to call it the figure because I want to make sure they will be able to supply the whole country with rest. The government sleep on our people because they are Liberians. If our foreigners are going to say invest this money in rest, we're going to supply the country, they will make that money available. But because a group of Liberians say they want to do it, you say no. Tomorrow when the people start supplying rest, the people won't become president. And the man say all of them there. If we empower the young men, and they forget to know that this particular country is not for just one group of people. Even when the men want to be president, the only problem are there, the men should not come overthrow you. But the men free to be president. The men should not just overthrow you. So then why you want to get power with somebody after 10, 15 years when you empower the person won't be president? How you affect your president if you're doing the right thing? You think when you're doing the right thing, they will vote you out? They will not vote you out. So why you feeling insecure? Like because you're evil, like because you know what you're doing. Nobody should not lie to you. Liberians are not enjoying anything. Nothing Liberians enjoying. People can be in traffic, people can be sick. For common sickness, they can be in the traffic, they die. That's the reality. You will be right in the traffic. Your family member will be with you in a car. Your family member will die in that traffic. I was sick. I went to the government hospital. I paid for more than 7%. If you hear the amount, you will get angry. The other lady, after the finish describing all the woman jobs, the woman pay the money, the woman left for only 500 liberty. the next pack all the drugs back and say, if you're not ready, somebody sick. You're not even talking to the person nice. If you not get my money, just go wait outside there. When you get my money, you can't go and get medicine. I said, why you couldn't pick the 500 medicine and give all the remaining one, give all people and say, the day you get money, go buy the one to the drugstore. But you hold all the medicine. She won't talk to me. So I told her the 500 I give it. I said, get a more medicine. 150 Lewati billion, they get 10 to people. Come in hospital, 300 Lewati. So when I read $2 US, they get 10 to people. I give you living story. If you hear how nurses can talk to patients, you will get too angry. Then people want us to be pretending that all is well. All is not well. Our people are suffering. The Liberian people, majority of the people, they are suffering.
So, Abraham, let me ask you this. Do our people know that they're suffering? That's what I want to understand. Do they know that they're suffering?
You know, they know 100%. But there's the logic. My phone is about to go off. This is the logic. Like, let we just wait for the next 6 years. We'll remove these people. And I don't know how people understand these 6 years. Be very careful in making decisions. If you are 18 years, 6 years after your year, you're 22. If you are 30 years, 6 years after your year, you are 36. If you are 34 years, 6 years after your year, you are 40. So 6 years is not playing for you to just gamble anyhow and say, 6 years was so money. You should think. There are 3 things the politicians are doing in Liberia. Number 1, they don't want you to learn. They don't want you to be exposed. Because they always want to keep you down. They always want to hold you down. Like you told me, you said, how can we create awareness? Once you come up with that mind, you become the answer directly. Why do you want to educate our people? Leave it like that. We like them how they're looking. They don't want the people to be educated. They don't want the people to understand that this is the right thing. They want to come back to the people to just rest and 5,000, 6,000. If I enter the village here and ask people why you vote for the person, oh, they make it 25 burger rest, they make beer water, or then he get the L and 50,000. He get that. How you can look at somebody as a good leader, and that's the stage you want people to be in. They don't want people. The first thing here, I can tell people, anybody give you money, don't vote for them. Let somebody explain to you and listen to it and go do your background investigation. Look at the person's track record. If the person get any criminal record, that person don't deserve your vote. But somebody will steal from the other district here and relocate in the other district, and people run massive campaign for them, or relocate in the other country, people run massive campaign for them, and then they win. Because our people are not educated. The next thing they can do again, when registration come in, they will go all the neighboring country, they will go collect people from all that places and bring them in Liberia to vote. If you say you're leading the people well, why are you going for people to vote? Because you're leading me. I know you're good. You think I won't change you? I would never want to change you. I would never want to change you. So why are you feeling insecure, going to get other people to come and vote for you? There are people from the companies, from how do you call it, Pierre Martin, reaching out to me. The other lady lowering her voice. I beg you, I'm texting you on WhatsApp. Don't call my knee. This thing is happening to us. Our government doing anything about it. How you be living your own country, then you afraid of the foreigner, like how? Then they want people to be saying that the government is doing well. If you just tell the people, say, come on and can't tell all the truth, we get job for you. The amount of people that will come, the amount of people who secure you 150 job, 200 job, because they don't want to spend, they don't want to lose that job. If if you just make mistake and say I get 20 or 40,000 job, you can't explain. You will hear story like you will start hearing, you will start crying. Before even 2-3 people finish explaining, you start crying for them. People are really suffering, most especially the serious ones who selling or trying to get a work. If people don't know what they're doing, they will always be bringing small confusion in the various universities because they don't want our people to learn. That's a simple logic. They always make it difficult.
Thank you, Ibrahim. You're such a brilliant young man. I'm so proud of you to hear a young Liberian being able to like express himself, because they disqualify us, or those, although we some of us get thousands of calls every week about help. We're helping at the hospital women who are stuck in the delivery room, who have no money to be accepted, or who have been seized at the hospital because they cannot leave with a hospital bill. People who are hiding out on the social media, little kids who have been beaten because their parents are angry or they are depressed or whatever, or a child that have been raped. We are constantly talking, right? But I want to come to this place with you. And then you can, and then I told you I'm going to keep you for 30 minutes. We already passed because you're bringing a lot out. What the law and order look like in Liberia? What law and order looks like in Liberia? And Ibrahim, does the law work? Is there justice? Is justice blind? Is justice does justice not see anybody? Is it in the middle? Is there law and order? Do the Liberian people have rights? Are they respected? I know you already said the foreigner do not respect us, but what's about among ourselves, especially for our leadership? Oh, he stalled. Okay. Ibrahim is kind of stalled, and I just want to say to all of you, those of you who are on here, thank you for tuning in. If you are here with us tonight, this is Ibrahim. His last name is here. I have heard him, I have followed him, especially from a border issue to a broader issue on Liberia, what is happening in our country. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully nobody knocking at his door. I wanted to hear some more from him. Oh, he has no electricity. His phone went off. Okay, that's fine. Okay, his phone went off. Okay, so folks, that's some of the takeaway right there. I'm going to see if I can get him on my morning drive when I'm going to work, where it's daytime and where his phone is charged. Hopefully they have that. But that really breaks my heart. And I like to talk to young people like this. I love one thing that he said. He would not be able to sell himself. Okay, people are calling him for money, and then he's not going to sell himself about that. Okay, we're almost gone half of the way here. Okay, most of you know me. All right, here we go. I will see if I can get let me see if I can get Mr. Let me get this YouTube, and then I will come and we will continue the conversation. I wanted to play Buaka's video from today. Okay. Okay. Where he's talking to Liberians. I know that a lot of people are saying it's a metaphor. Okay. I don't understand metaphor. Leader don't speak like that. Leaders speak to inspire. They speak to elevate. Those metaphors don't fall in place. The last I checked, the person with people who use that kind of thought process, it was in Rwanda. It was during the war. The last I checked, the person who used word like that, it was Jenkins Scott. Okay? The Minister of Justice in Liberia, Jenkins Z.B. Scott. Okay, we're calling Liberian bar player. Booga Fish. That was Jenkins Z.B. Scott. And he died in the street. He died on the sidewalk on Crown Hill. I see when you talk about him, people come and say, oh, his family said leave him alone. Where were you when he was out calling people names? Now we have a lot. The statement that Bouaka made, okay? And this young man just told us they're mad because they don't want to speak to the Liberian people. But while I'm not going to be here too long tonight, okay, since my guest left, one thing I want to talk to Liberians about. I listened to Josiah Joker. I'm not even going to play his video. Some of you people have heard it over and over. But what I wanted to talk to Josiah Joker about is, to all of you and everybody, I want you to listen up. Okay, I will play this video. Then I'm going to talk about Josiah Joker. Okay, let me explain to your Liberian people. Josiah Joker said NDA is legal everywhere. That is true. You cannot stop civil servants from speaking up. Okay? You can have NDA for people who work in high security area, sensitive area. Maybe the doctors and nurses in the school, in the hospital, so as to protect people's personal information. But you, as a civil servant, you're working for the Liberian people. And because you're working for the Liberian people, it is the Liberian people right to know. Okay? It is the Liberian people right to know. To say you're going to have people signing NDA. Okay? So, so people don't talk. Now, here's what I'm thinking here. Let me think what I'm thinking here. If you are having people sign NDA, the question that begs an answer is this, though. Why do we have whistleblower protection in Liberia? What is the essence of that? What is the, and I can't say much until I see the NDA, okay? Let me say in a short form. All right? So let's talk about the principle of NDA. Yes, in most democratic systems, government institutions are built on transparency. Let's remember that. We are a democracy. Let me hear it. We are democracy. Democracy means ruled by the people. The power is inherent in the people. The majority are the one who have the power, and they borrow that power to a person or a few people to lead them. Okay? So if you, in democracy, if you are not transparent, there is no longer a democracy. All right? Josiah Joker is not running his private business. Josiah Joker is not running a sole proprietorship. I want people to understand that. Meaning he's the law, the gospel. He built his organization and he will run it within his own confines based on what the law allows. But while he's working for the Liberian people, that we hire Bouaka and Bouaka hire him to do that job, I can't speak completely and say he's not in a position because I don't know what the NDA will look like. I don't know what area of the job that he's joined the NDA on. And these things, before they do, he needs to bring that up so we, the Liberian people, can look at it, okay, examine it, and see if it coincides with our laws. Okay? You can't just write stuff and then force it down the throat of our people. One thing the young man just said, they don't want, if you are not part of their clique, they don't want to change Liberia. The goal is not to change Liberia. And another thing that this young man said about the things that Liberian people are doing is that they will show up You know, when Yatwanya came to Minnesota, he told the people, when people try to ask him the way they're treating our people, he said, don't worry about it. We know how to win. When the time comes, we will win. We heard Dareth Delon said that too, not too long ago. We know how to win. We will remove George Weah out of power. If George Weah acted like UP, George Weah, we're not going to leave. Because the number was too close to even called. We know majority of the people who are entering data at the NEC are people that you people there. We know most of the data that you use, you're manufacturing. That's why the last set of the data that were coming in, that lady was collecting it before she announced it. That's why it was delayed. Because initially, as the number was coming in, she was just putting it in. By the time she caught up, it was too late. 2023 is not 20, will not be 2029. I can tell you that. And I love what the young man just said. People think 6 years is like going to the bathroom. The 3 years that Bouaka took over, look around here and see how many of your friends are now already here with us. Also, look at your friends who travel, who are in other countries, how much gain they've made. Look at little boy like what my son is, Sleeky. Sleeky left Liberia. We asked Sleeky, we can open business for you after the election. He said, no, Oma, I won't go to school. Talk to my papa, Monet and Sheikh. 3 years. They both in an undergrad degree. I think he's in doing his grad program. In the 3 years that he left, while the children that were left in school in Liberia going back and forth, you're beating the children. And I can tell you already that UP has lost the conversation. When the government start attacking a citizen, beating them up for protesting in the street, okay? When your government goes to the point where they go out when people are protesting, beat them up, take over the capital, turn around, come back and say they bring the capital, although they were in charge of the capital. Although they were in charge of the capital, Gregory Coleman and his group were in charge of the capital after beating those people up and jailing some of them just as the judge did. And they come back. Then the president show up and says, these hoodlums, he already have he asked it on people. So let's listen to Joseph Boaka's story of today. And I will read something to you that was written so we can see where we are. I want you all to listen. This is your president.
We ought to ask ourselves, reading 179 years, we ought to ask ourselves, are we where we should be? But we're not complaining about the past. I always say, forget about the past. Don't cause the darkness, turn the light on. We hear a lot of criticism from people, but don't mind them. They don't live here. We live here. We know what we want for our people.
Very divisive. Very divisive. Okay? Don't mind the people. They don't live here. We live here. We don't live there. Guess what? When he needs to see medical attention, he comes to where we live, not where you build. Joseph Boaka will be in Rhode Island. Let me say yes. Joseph Boaka will be in he will be in Rhode Island. Let me tell you when Joseph Boaka is going to be in Rhode Island. You might have time. I'm telling you. Joseph Boaka will be in Rhode Island. I want you to listen. On the 28th, Joseph Boaka, you hear me out, will be in Rhode Island, in the country where he called the people who live there dog. I don't care where you say, listen, literature was my thing. In fact, I'm a lifetime learner. Let me just say. So, when you are a leader, your choice of parable have to be different. Joseph Boaka, and then we're looking at him, he's a sarcastic old man and very vindictive old man. And I'm just saying that, no disrespect. And I'm just being honest. Okay? Joseph Boakai will be in Rhode Island on the 28th. I want all of you to know that. The Liberian boss will stand up and call him out. Why is he coming here? Why are you running to this country? Why don't you fix your country and stay there? Fix our country. That's why we put you there, to fix it, because you knew what to do. That's what you told us. Okay? Listen to this too. And let me warn your Liberian people. Genghis Khan called Liberian people, but play those days when he was in power. He ended on the sidewalk. Boakai did not end on the sidewalk at Genghis Khan because he loading his stuff. He is building mansions. He building in Lofa. He investing in his children, in his grandchildren. He living for his great-great-grandchildren. He have put money in the so-called foundation that during the corona, they have nothing. Alexander Cummings have to actually put supplies in there and help him out. Today, it's a multi-million-dollar business. Why? You are still begging and you still dancing. Okay? Now, let me go back again. A few years back, during the midterm election in Liberia, with Taylor Ure and Darius Delon. And Darius Delon also threatened the state. Okay? We are called the UA cockroaches, but you know what? He called them personally. In this particular area, Boakai called us Liberian, both local and in the diaspora. The people who contribute more than what the country, after the banjo, all the natural resources, we contribute that. This is just the money we send. We send through electronic remittance, okay? Over $800 million. If you put the money we take on us to carry, the businesses that we send, not just money, the material that we send, that we ship, and you put that together, we spend over $1 billion, maybe $1.5 billion, maybe $2 billion into Liberia annually. But have the nerve to even speak like that. And you're coming to say it's metaphor. How many people in the country understand metaphor? And let me tell you something. For me, I like to go. When Boakai is telling you, let's not think about history. No smart person in the world, no multi-millionaires, no family that has endured over 200 years will tell you, forget history. You see the millionaire children, even those who go to exclusive school in the United States or in Switzerland or in England or in any developed world, 4 subjects that they must learn: history. If you can follow patterns, history, you will see things coming and you can project what's going to happen next. Frederick Douglass said, "A people without history, they're like a tree without a root." You must know where you come from to know where you're going. If somebody's telling you, forget what happened, they're telling you also forget your pain, forget your mistreatment, forget who maltreated you, forget all the stealing that we now do, forget why you are in the predicament that you're in. That's what Boakai is telling you. It's psychological. He's playing on your mind. He's playing on your mind. But then you know what? They're afraid because they can't play on our minds. Because those of us who have traveled, those of us who have some sort of principle, those of us who refuse to be compromised, those of us who have learned, we have traveled and still hold dear to our heart, our roots. They can't change that. I was here when people were calling me, Yada, you owe me, support him. Whatever job you want. I was not in I'm not on this journey for the job. I always told you, if I want job in Liberia, I will go in I'm from where? I'm from Monserrato. I'm from Nimakante. Born in Nima, raised in Monserrato. I will go to Monserrato. I'm from District 10 and District 4. I will run there. And I'm thinking about it strongly. And I also have options to run here in America because I spend money. I've not stolen here. I work here. I educate here. I am known here. I support different political party. I support women. I support men. I support my community. I'm acknowledged for my work in the community here. I will do that. You know, my mom used to tell her when we were growing up, don't poop on your farm road. Meaning wherever you want to return to, walk straight. Make sure you have a good character, because your character is like your shadow. The moment the sun shows up, it will come up. You can't hide it. You know, today I was looking at a post made by Fatiga insulting me. And I'm going to leave it because his mom just passed and I'm going to leave it alone. I was trying to send something to a friend of mine, a permanent person who done run for president before. And he had actually copied that stuff from Facebook. And he was calling me in the bitch word and all of that. Yes, I used to work. And he wanted me to have a conversation. I told him I was not going to. Okay. And I saw that. And I look at it. And I see where we are at this point. Okay. Bwaka is telling you, do not remember where you've been, so you're confused as to where you're going. I said the thing here that the people will teach their children. They must teach their children history. It is essential in all areas. You see the Jewish people, how they're going? They still call their little children name Toto. They still do the thing they did in those days with it. Okay. They still in their culture. They still follow some tradition, or mostly all of the tradition per se. Okay. Now, the rich people, the advanced country, history is essential to the development of the future. Where you come from, where you are, where you're going. Another thing that they must teach their children, economics. You must understand how to manage your wealth. You don't have to be a multi-millionaire. Wherever you earn, how to manage it and live within your means. I gave you two essential. You go look for the other two. Philosophy is very important. I see you're talking about the Socrates, you're talking about the Plato's, you're talking about Confucians, you're talking all the people. But I can also talk about Jomo Kenyatta, the man who shared his house, facing Mount Africa. I can talk about Chino and Chimbi. I can talk about Walter Sankara. I can talk about Albert Port. He was a little way before me. When you ask your children now, most of them don't even know where to go. They don't even know their age. You see a 16-year-old, say in second grade, the one we're supposed to be getting ready to go to college. And you're okay with that. And this man is telling us, divide us. This dude sat on the platform and told Alexander Cummings and told your Liberian people, this man don't understand us. The people from America don't understand us. They don't understand our tribe. Let me say to y'all, I live here. Being here all my adult life, back and forth in Liberia, have investment in Liberia. Maledenka. Hey, Steve. No, you can come on. You can come on. I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link. All right. Okay. I was about to leave, but my son is coming on, so I'm going to give him the last 10 minutes for him to come on. Okay. So let me send it to him. Okay. So let me let you know. Who called me? Okay. So Bwaka is telling y'all, forget who you are. Forget your past. Forget how Liberia had treated you. Forget how your family got here. Forget who you are in totality. And just shut yourself up. If people ask you who are you, it's telling you forget your history. We teach history here extensively. In fact, that's what I teach, history and science. That's what I teach. All right. So let me play this. Let me finish this.
When you are walking a long distance and you have a lot of dogs barking at you, if you stop to throw a rock at each dog, you will not reach. Just move on, move on. Our job is to move.
And you know what's sad? I see Liberians clapping. As always. Like I remember when we are called Liberian people enemy of the state. In fact, call us the advocate, enemy of the state. Okay? You were clapping and blowing the city. Nothing has changed. The same attitude. Should I kill you? Yay! Should I go kill your mother? Yay! Should I take your children and violate them? Yay! That's the kind of people we are. And they think it's funny. When Donald Trump said they were going to deport Liberian, he took the podium and said the same thing. Today, you're talking about Yeke cussing. But you ain't got no trouble with people who kill our people parading the street. Doc? Yeah, I guess it's not today. Oh. Let me get up the line. I will call you. Look at it. Okay. I will call you back. Okay, bye. Okay, so here we go. That was that. She vests, I vest, we both vest. So like we're facing, we're sisters. Okay. Now let me come back again. I told you all about Genghis Khan calling Liberian people Babylon. Just we are calling people enemies of the state. In Rwanda, cockroaches. When people want to do wrong to you, the first thing they start with dehumanization. They dehumanize you. So they don't see you as human. So they don't see you as equal. So they can be dirty to you. Papa Bouaka is the dirty man. I'm saying that. Like when you got ready to betray Alexander Cummings, the first thing he went on the air. This is a guy that he asked in the second round to get him money to run his campaign, and he did. This is the guy who he has sat on the table where he has eaten. This is a guy where when they were in a position and Liberia were just coming from the war and they needed people who had character, people who had connection, they reached out to him. Put your knee on our BWI board, put your knee on our bank, okay? So the war can respect us and come and rescue us. So he did. That was his friend and brother. Then he dehumanized him. He called him a stranger. He didn't belong. He went to court after he took and I hear y'all calling me seditious. I said some of y'all calling me. For me, I'm not in the business. I'm not a first responder. I'm not in the business of resuscitating people. Okay, I'm not in the business. If the Liberian people gave you an opportunity and you failed them, okay, the first thing you need to start by apologizing to the Liberian people. I know a lot of people don't see that y'all have problem. Y'all don't see Odell Sherman, a 19-year-old, 21-year-old girl, was violated by your sitting vice president brother, and your sabotage that. Even when we got a pathologist from the United States who came to Liberia and tried to take sample and bring it to America, just stop him and took it from him. You ain't see that. You ain't see that full mother, father together, one woman and 3 men die in 1 month period. You don't see no problem. You didn't see the rape. I know it's still going on now, but that's why you got changed. You don't see that the people were still struggling. You don't see, and I see people, somebody were in my inbox the other day. Listen, Liberian people, when you're coming people inboxes because people put me in chat room, I don't take myself out when you put me there, you're there. You come in my inbox, I'm gonna go vote for the president. Listen, if Jefferson Koji It's the best Liberia can do against Darius DeLong. My hand on there. I watched Jefferson Koji. Y'all remember that press ball? See what's going on? I sent it. Oh, you sure? Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me try. Hold on. I come in to get incinerated. Okay. Okay, I just sent it. Okay. My hand not there. Jefferson Koji. I remember District 13 election. Koji told people rocks and collapses. Okay? What Jefferson Koji need to do at this point, apologize to the Liberian. I remember I still got those videos. I got those videos when you sent people during the corona to beat up people and shoot at people. I still remember that. I'm not saying what is happening now, but you people have not come to terms to tell the Liberian people your gift of power. Acting like you're in. So now it's between CDC and UP. UP and CDC has done the best that we can do. The 5 million Liberians with 2.5 million then are voting age. 90% unemployment. 64% living below the poverty line. Jefferson Koji money is sitting here freeze up in America. Yeah, I know. But you're inboxing me. I'm going to come on Facebook to come vote. Where you get that kind of friskiness from? Because you see me in a chat room. We're not equal. Before you're coming, people inboxes, investigate, do your research before you come to talk to people. It's really essential if you ask me. It's important, very important for you to do that. Okay? You coming in my inbox, I'm going to go vote on Facebook for Jefferson. Do you know me? Look at my name. Go on Facebook, find me, or ask me, Oma, who are you? You don't know. You see picture of me. I'm not a little girl. I keep telling you that. Don't assume too much. That's why somebody like you got a 90-year-old man you elected. This man is telling us 100 and all of them saying the same thing. 180 years. George, we have said the same thing. 180 years. Okay. Steve is not working. But log into the YouTube. It will bring you on. You sure? Okay, hold on. Let me try again. Hold on. I don't know why he's doing that. Hold on. Don't go. Stay on. Stay on. Hi. Oh, I see that. YouTube. Sorry. I see that. All right. Yeah, stream. Yeah. Okay. Stay on. Let me see if you can come on. Yeah, just send it. I see your face on there. Okay. All right. Okay. All right then. Yeah, I'm gonna get Steve on for a few minutes, then I'm gonna go. Okay. So this dude is been in government for 45 years. 45 years. Has nothing to show. But he's telling you to forget it. 45 long years. He had been a part of that. He had been a part of the modern Liberia. After the war, they delivered into his hand. He sat in the legislature, okay, as the president of the legislature and signed 66 contracts that is hunting Liberia today. But he's telling you the country not going anywhere. I'm waiting to see if Steve can come on. Hopefully come on. Okay, here he is. Okay. Hey, Steve, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you, Oma?
I'm good. I'm going to let you talk to us. I am a little perplexed. I think I should have lowered my tone here because I'm very loud because the young man from Liberia, I will not hearing him too well, and I'm really loud. I am really, really, I'm not disappointed, to tell you the truth. I didn't anticipate anything from Boakai, okay? But I also want to say to the Liberian people, those who are telling Liberian, Yeke must apologize. If somebody accuse you of killing, and then they tell you, come and apologize, the sooner you apologize, it means you are guilty, you killed, okay? They did the same thing to Prophet Key. Prophet Key apologized. They lock him up for 6 months. Nobody go to jail for contempt for 6 months. It's a maximum of one month, and that's an abuse. Yeke, I love Yeke standing up. You know, I did. If most of you Liberian people don't get it, I did a Plato apology on my page, and I explained how it works. Plato was willing to die for what he believed in. He was not going to apologize. He was not going to back down. He was not going to worship their God. He was not going to take his words back. So, Steve, welcome. Talk to us. Plenty things happening in your country. Let me tell you, Waka will be in Rhode Island on the 28th. They'll be in Washington begging for money. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, as always, I want to say the Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. And the Liberian people are the most important people on earth. You know, sometimes when we say these things, people don't pay attention. They think we hate people. We are in a bigger problem.
Mhm.
And it will only, unfortunately, it will only get worse if the Liberian people don't stand up. The first thing we have to understand is, let me say this clearly, Joseph Boakai got nothing to lose.
No, he does not. He has
Joseph,
absolutely nothing to lose.
Joseph Boakai is on departure.
What happened, Steve? Oh, what's going on with him? Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with Steve. He was just and just went off. Okay, so I want to agree with Steve. Joseph Boakai have absolutely nothing to lose. He have gotten what 3 score plus 1 and more still going. In fact, he have gotten 4 scores. Okay, he has lived. And what's going on, Steve? Steve, what happened to him? What happened to you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think
Maybe say, okay, go ahead. I just did that. Okay. Yeah, but
so.
go ahead. He said Joseph Boakai was on departure.
Like I was saying earlier, Joseph Boakai is on departure. What that means is, whether you like it or not, Joseph Boakai at an age where, you know, anytime from now he can leave the earth. Whether he leaves the earth before the younger people leave the earth before him, he is at a higher risk. That's just the fact of this matter. I say this to say that if we're not careful, Joseph Boakai will leave Liberia in another war. Let me say again. Well, who passing around and praying God? Oh, you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't say that. Oh, I can say it. I can say it clear to you. I can say it clear to the Liberian people. If you don't stop Joseph Boakai, that country will end up in another war. You leave all that plenty fully ready that you're doing, and the diplomacy and the democracy, you leave all that crap. At the end of the day, it will end into war. Because what Joseph Boakai is doing, it's not strange, it's not new. It's not strange, it's not new. I said it on SKTV the other time. During turbulent time, they were doing the same thing.
Yep.
Turbo High, family member in government, Frank Turbo, all the men, and they were doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And it made people so vexed to the point where they decided to act. And we're taking it for a joke when you talk it, oh, and y'all want to be war drum, y'all beating war drum, y'all beating war drum, y'all beating war drum. Oh, yes. Me, I would rather be war drum. I would rather talk it now than to sit down and regret. You better stop Joseph Boakai from what he is doing. If not, Y'all will go to refugee camps. Your children will go to refugee camps again. You already see West Africa, Guinea-Bissau. The other time they missed the Ivorian president for coup. Sierra Leone, Red us. There is so much noise around us. Guinea, they removed it. You really think that thing what you got going on in that country is a joke? You think people are not hurt? You know what it means for somebody to spend all their hard-earned money build someone on horse or somewhere that they ate and they're living there. And you just come overnight and take that person and the children out of that house. You know what that means? Without even giving them any kind of compensation, you're dubiously remove the people and the people are homeless. You know what that means? You know how many people vex? You know how many anger in the country? And you're saying down there, oh, we do 30-day fast, we do 3-day fast, we do the other fast, we do the other fast. They'll be messing around. We'll be on record and tell you the same way how we are on record here to tell some of you that when Joseph Boakai was running the campaign, some of us told you they don't vote Joseph Boakai. Me, I'm from Lofa County. I'm not afraid to say it. Joseph Boakai is a rude old man. He is rude, he is disrespectful, and he's uncouth. I don't really care about how you're feeling what you got going on. Oh, you can't tell the old man saying rude. I beg you. If the old man rude, Joseph Boakai is very rude and disrespectful. He is disrespectful.
And deceptive.
He's a disrespectful old man.
Very
He is
deceptive.
very rude. And let me tell you something. Joseph Boakai then testing the water to see what they can get away with. You know, a few weeks ago, we told y'all when they started the case on Prophet Key. Let me say this. I might not be a fan or supporter of Prophet Key, but for me, I stand for what is true. If it was wrong today, wrong today, wrong tomorrow, wrong tomorrow. I'm not here for that thing. We told y'all these guys started a precedent, but they wanted to set the stage for it. So the first thing Joseph Boakai, let me tell you something. Jeremiah Kun know. Joseph Boakai know. All of them know what they did about Prophet Key, but they didn't know it. Let me tell you today, nobody might not excuse Joseph Boakai. He knows about
they plan it.
Joseph Boakai is a bad human being. He's not a good human being. Let me tell you today, he is not a good human being. He is not a good human being. Oh, he is not. Look, let me say this. Anybody who can take care of you, anybody who can do everything and support you, the least you can do, even if you don't want to do what is right, the least you can do is not to go after other people. That's how we know. That's how we know that you're a good person. That's how we can tell that you're a good person. Again, I'm not a supporter of Prophet Key, but what kind of fight, insult, and enemy ship Prophet Key never made for Joseph Boakai? Benin.
Yeah.
Even Benin now, you ready?
Me.
Let me say this. Let me say this today. Let me say this today on the first time on the show. Let me say it today. I've never said it in public before, but let me say it in public, and Prophet Key can lie about it. The first human being that ever called me in my life and said one political leader wanted to talk to me, and I told him I'm not interested with Prophet Key. You know the relationship between Prophet Key and Benin and Ure? You know what kind of connection they have? For Prophet Key to abandon Benin and Ure for Joseph Boakai Benin, and Joseph Boakai turn around. But guess what? Oh, she for Prophet Key. Because we want them. Oh, me, I'm a look. I heard you talking about Fadiga and brother. My sympathy to both of them, for their mother. You know, in terms of death, people give birth. At the time we staying with people. I'm very sorry. I know what it takes. I know what it means for you to lose your mother. I know. I've been there most recently. So I know. So I'm very sorry. My sympathy to the Fadiga brothers. I know the Fadiga brother way back. Those men insulted me and made plan with me for Joseph Boakai because I told them I would not fall in line. I told them I know what I'm seeing in front there. I said, this man is not only disgruntled, he is reckless and irresponsible. Joseph Boakai is the most irresponsible old man I've ever seen in our time in the 21st century. You know what I mean? For you to be vice president, you're getting pat down for 12 years. I'm talking about the correction money and the brown envelope now. For you to come and say you're living on loan and you get sent on them feeding you and taking care of you. You know what I mean? I come into his statement about the people in that dog. I come into his statement, you know, because I've seen some people who, let me tell you something. Some people, I don't see them the way I used to see them again. Because when you take your birthright and put it on the table, when somebody do, I can always say, I was never born to defend anybody. I will never defend anybody on my role. I'm not here to make excuses for anybody. My own man, I told you behind closed door. I say, any leader who I got to make excuses, you will not be my leader. And I say, any political person who I support or I choose to support, if I got to come and make excuses for you, I'm done with you. You're not political leader again for me, or you're not somebody I can follow. Because that's not my responsibility. You get your children there. You get your family. What time you see Joseph Boakai children there on Facebook making noise for him? But I'm saying this to say, that all the suffering these people did, everything these people did for Joseph Boakai. Even the Stanton today, that Stanton we're talking about, Stanton and I want to beat daughter. Whatever Joseph Boakai called United Party people there, son of swans. You know what I mean for somebody to call you swan? And all of them agree to it that the sons of swans. Yes. Joseph Boakai called your pigs and you agree to it during the campaign and the election. And are you all saying yes?
Yeah, son of swan. Yes, son of swan.
Okay. But then he turned around today. He said, you're not only sons of swan, your pigs. Let me say this to the people who writing on Facebook, who acting like the intellectual and the thing they got. Look, if Joseph Boakai got to give a speech and you come and you interpret the speech for Joseph Boakai, then Joseph Boakai, like Jeremiah can say, he bring gun down the drain. When a president speaks, it's supposed to be clear, concise, and that's it. No going around it. Somebody else can interpret what Joseph Boakai said, the thing what Joseph Boakai said on the stage. Somebody else will interpret it for him. The fact that Joseph Boakai needs interpreter, that means something wrong with him. The last time I checked, Joseph Boakai, you said he was the most suited man for the job. He was ready for the job. So there should be no interpreter for him. But that's aside the point. The point I am trying to make is everybody that made sacrifices for Joseph Boakai, Joseph Boakai left them down. And they're not stopping there. You know, let me come to the statement that Joseph Boakai made. You know, I speak and write both English and French very, very well. Very well. I'm saying using AI, I say very, very well. In a country, I teach students who are at the master's level. Some even got a PhD in this country. I teach at two different universities. Let me tell you today. University of Phoenix and Grand Canyon University. Y'all keep that. If you think a line, go double check the record. Everything in America is open. The reason I'm saying it because I want to lay certain premise. Normally, I don't want to talk about myself. I don't want to talk about some of these things. I'm not the guy who talk about what I do or whatever. I don't do that. I want to lay a premise because it's important for us to lay some premises. What Joseph Boakai said was not what Winston Churchill said. In fact, Winston Churchill was the Prime Minister for England. It was not what Winston Churchill said. If somebody makes a statement and they interpret that statement with certain comparison, without quoting directly, they are saying their own thing. That's what Joseph Boakai is responsible for what he said. The first thing Joseph Boakai did was Joseph Boakai discredited people that were criticizing him. Joseph Boakai compared them to dog, whether you like it or not. Joseph Boakai compared the Liberian people to dog. Because right after he made his statement, then he brought out quote-unquote quotation in which he never even said it was a quotation. He directly stated it. So that Joseph Boakai own words you were using. Because normally when you're speaking English and you want to quote somebody to be clear that are your own words to get credit, what you do, you quote people and you put quotation to it. That's what people do when you listen to people who can speak English. So you're who passing around trying to make excuses, that's fine. If you choose to sell your birthright or Joseph Boakai, if you choose to run around and get Joseph Boakai your soul, that's great. That's how you choose to do your life. But let's not make it look like what Joseph Boakai said was not what he said. That's what he said. The last thing I want to say is this. Last thing I want to say about Joseph Boakai business before maybe my Oma can say something to this. I will say again, your mark today down. Today that April 20th. If y'all don't stop Joseph Boakai, Labro end up in war. If it does not happen, then I never predicted that Joseph Boakai was a smooth crook on the scene show. I never predicted that Joseph Boakai would be a disaster for Liberia on the scene show. I never predicted that Joseph Boakai is ungrateful and he was going to turn on all the people They ain't never happened on the show. Your mark today down. Because Joseph Boakai is repeating history. You know, I read a 200 page document from the TRC. And it catalog exactly how though after the same thing they went after Tobin for when it came to power, how they started operating. And I've said it over and over, and I'll continue to stand by it. That Joseph Boakai, if he succeeds to remove Yege Koluba, Joseph Boakai will go after Claudia. Joseph Boakai will go after Jowia. Joseph Boakai will go after Elizana Cummings. Joseph Boakai will go after Tiawan Gonglo. Joseph Boakai will go after what a guy named Musa Hassan Benete. These two things I'm saying on your show today.
And he will go after what his name, Frank Foko.
Frank Foko, you right. Frank Foko, that small thing. But I'm saying this because this is exactly what these guys have planned to do. This is exactly what these guys have planned to do. These guys have nothing to offer. Joseph Boakai is a rogue. Joseph Boakai is a rogue. He's a criminal. It's plain and clear. He's a rogue. He's a criminal. He's a confucianist. He's a problem man. He's a problematic old man. If y'all don't stop Joseph Boakai, and you know what the good thing about it? I'm saying it today. I will say it again. If Joseph Boakai take you to war, I will come on the show and support Joseph Boakai for taking Labrador to war. Y'all will see. Because when we tell you something and you don't listen to it, you think this is a joke. They pass these people on. Now, not everybody will take that nonsense from Joseph Boakai. No, they're not everybody. They're not everybody. You don't know who's preparing. You don't know what people are doing. People are not happy. People are not happy. These guys are creating problems. And yes, Joseph Boakai knows the land is for Guinea. Joseph Boakai knows the land is for Guinea. Japa talk about to hell with you and Joseph Boakai. I will call him Joseph Boakai. He's a criminal. He's a rogue. And he's a serious man.
Why your other name again?
He's disrespectful.
No, he has another name. A name before he changed his name to Joseph Boakai to his uncle-in-law name.
Well, I know Yaman Foma or whatever name. But kind of his whole lifestyle just looking confusing. But you know, at the end of the day, y'all continue. The thing where you're thinking about Joe, y'all continue. Y'all continue. Other people will bounce back. Not everybody will leave it will go. I'm saying it today. That not everybody will leave it will go. Talk about them were misbehaving. Y'all are leaving it will go. Y'all saw what happened. Dog King started misbehaving. People not leave it will go. Chatterer King started misbehaving. People not leave it will go. That not everybody will leave it with God. Don't get it. That not everybody will leave it with God. I see Unity Party when they come in your show. Oh, why they do always speaking better about Joseph Boakai. You don't follow me. They may even go to court. Go tell Joseph Boakai to get me in court. I ain't America ain't gonna sue me. The thing what I say, I mean it. I stand by what I say. Joseph Boakai knows what's going on in Lofa. Joseph Boakai is fully aware. They don't want nobody to talk about it. They don't want nobody to talk about it. The statement Yege made, Yege should never apologize for that statement. Never. Yege never said.
Yege said he's not going to. He's believing what he believes in. He said Yege said the paper that Joseph Boakai signed in Guinea, now West Guinea, he agreed to. He just came and busted the story to the Liberian people because he live in the Liberian people. He lying to the Liberian people and he live in the Liberian people hanky. Yeah. And that was the little boy.
Joseph Boakai then say they might just play all of that Liberian people to forget. Yep. And the agreement Joseph Boakai didn't have. That the Liberian people will forget about it, they quit to forget, and they might just play off. So that's what happened. Like I said, just watch and see. And Joseph Boakai didn't feel like they can run things around. Okay. It is what it is.
So one thing, and before we leave, Steve, I want us to leave in about 5 minutes. Thank you for your voice. I wanted to read this really quickly to everyone because so my focus can be okay. Joseph Boakai referring to the Liberian people in the diaspora as dogs. I want everybody to understand it. Let's be clear for this in the following, philosophically, let's just look at it this way, okay? This is the father of the nation. It's like a black person in the United States calling themselves dog or the N-word and don't want somebody else to call. You're calling your children the N-word, but you don't want someone else to call them the N-word. That is,
Yeah.
that's the way he sees us. Okay. I want you to understand that philosophically. Okay. Who's the masters here? Who the master? Who's supposed to call the dog? So the master control what the dog can and cannot do. Correct? The master controls what the dog can do and cannot do. He has forgotten to know that we are the masters. We hire him. His time is short. So he can't call us dog. In democracy, the people have the power. The only problem that Liberian people are suffering with, they don't know if they have the power. They have not come to that realization. What the young man was saying, okay? So if we the master, if we are your master, Joseph Boakai, I want you to hear me. All of you who will be honored, okay? You have forgotten that yesterday you pleaded for us. Yesterday we kept you alive. Yesterday we raised money for you. Yesterday you were fainting left and right. Yesterday we gave you our bank book. We gave you our coffers. We gave you key to the future of our nation, to our children, to our lives and our well-being. We granted that to you, and we have the ability. So now he has forgotten. He has really forgotten, and I want him to know that. Okay, we are his employer, which make us home and a broad employer. A good trained dog will not just eat what belongs to his master. Okay. A good trained dog will not just eat what belongs to his master. We are his master. This is not being philosophical. I mean, I'm being philosophical and I'm not being direct. I just want him to understand his own stuff that he used. So I'm using it right back to him. A good trained dog, okay, will not just eat what belongs to his master or to his masters. If we, the Liberian in the diaspora, decide not to send money back home, Boakai will have no government within the next few weeks or months, because this government will collapse, because the people he is referring to as dogs are not his dogs, but his masters. Maybe he need to understand that. And he is the dog that have bad behavior and does not know how to behave. Because of the sound of the masters coming, Boakai must first of all understand that we contribute a lot, over 800 million. That is just from remittance to the Liberian people. I'm not going to go too far, but I want you to stand this way and understand. Philosophically, if you reverse it, if he thinks hard, we hire him. We got him to work for us. So we are going to call him. If he was trained, he would not be stealing. If he was a trained good dog that the master sent out, he would not be building mansion and buying all the land around his area. You know what they're doing, Steve? They are telling the people they build in an alley. Then they open the place and close it. They add it to his land. That's what they're doing. That's exactly what he's doing. But guess what? What you just said, he has nothing to lose. What he's building is for the children. Like the people who stole our land yesterday, who came to Liberia on the ship, and I'm not making no damn apology, okay? Like I said, until we are Liberian first, Liberia is not going to go right. People are showing up who left Liberia ever since. Most of them fell all over the place. All the money they buy and man they stole, they're showing up now. They own this land, they own this land. And you know what's bad? Because that old man came and said, God, not making new land. So he just opened the Pandora box. But I'm going to give you the next couple of minutes. Go ahead and close us up, Steve. We've been here for say 8:30 to 9:30.
Well, like I said, I stand by what I said. Because me, I really don't care about, friends or who I'm cool with in saying the truth. No, I don't. I've maintained my position with Joseph Boakai, and my position will be maintained. Joseph Boakai was never good for Liberia. He can never be good for Liberia, even as president. You want to interpret any way, interpret that way. Joseph Boakai is reckless. Joseph Boakai is one of the most useless old men I've ever seen, as evidenced by he was not even able to maintain or sustain his own money. Whether you think he's old and I use the word useless and you say I disrespectful, that's fine. But the fact remains here that he behaved uselessly, as evidenced by that he was living, quote unquote, was living on loan. As evidenced by that he was collecting money from unknown, convicted, confessed criminal Instanton Waterspoon. And I like that uselessness there. He was not able to manage his own money. But even more beside that, what's even troubling is this. Joseph Boakai got nothing to lose. If y'all don't stop Joseph Boakai now, Labrador, I won't use that old Labrador go back to dark days, and democracy is falling. Y'all will go to war. Yep. Yeah, again. If y'all don't stop Joseph Boakai now, when I say stop, I mean y'all stand up to him. Some of you men, you'll speak the truth. You'll start hiding behind parables and start writing a bunch of funny things, and the truth is the truth. Telling Joseph Boakai the truth does not mean that you don't respect him or you don't like him. When I say Joseph Boakai is useless, it's because of the evidences that he has done in his life. He has behaved uselessly. Yeah. And I will stand by that. When I say Joseph Boakai is a smooth crook, he has behaved in a crooked way. When I say Joseph Boakai is a liar, he has lied both locally and internationally. I'm not making stories against him. I don't have anything to be very Joseph Boakai on, but the truth is the truth. If you behave recklessly, I will say you behave recklessly. I don't have any different adjectives to describe Joseph Boakai behavior than to say it the way it's supposed to be said. Joseph Yuma Boakai is a problematic human being. And if y'all don't stop him, you're Liberian people. If you don't stop Joseph Boakai now, y'all will go back to war. Whether it will be somebody coming to remove Unity Party people, whether it will be some group of people going after Joseph Boakai and his family or going against the people of Lofa. Let me say this to the people of Lofa. Just sit down there. They'll be talking out of your tongue. And you'll see what happened to the Crown people and the people from Nima Kante. Our own person in Joseph Boakai is misbehaving. And I see you're passing around and acting like you're not seeing it because we Liberians, most of all, we are hypocrites by nature. We can see what is true, then we get quiet on it. We see it. We don't want to speak on the truth. We don't want to say the truth. We don't want to speak out in the name of tradition and culture. You got no tradition and culture in our country. Let me tell you the truth. You have no tradition and culture because the last time I checked, your tradition people are in the president pocket. The last time I checked, your religious people are in the president pocket. Most of your religious people, then they're either homosexual people or they are people who are passing around and supporting government on a cover. But they tell you on Sunday when you go to church, they tell you can't be in politics. But they're collecting money from politicians. They're making politicians who raping small children then. They're making them follow the year. Oh, yes, you didn't know that? But you sit down there, you play hypocrisy. You'll be there. Guess what will happen? Your children then will go to refugee camp. Your children then will end up in refugee camp. Some of you will not live to tell the story because you know what? When that problem comes, then some of us will be saying that and will remind you that we told you this. The same way I told you 2023, don't vote for Joseph Boakai. But never listen. That's why today I can proudly sit here and laugh and enjoy myself. Because everything that we talk about Joseph Boakai coming right to pass. And I'm not changing. The only way I will change, the thing I say, unless Joseph Boakai changes the trajectory. When his behavior change, the outcome will change. When behavior does not change, the outcome does not change. So that being said, you'll be there yet? You'll be praying. Hey, some of you are saying, some of our parents were praying. You know, some of our parents were praying for Doma Oma. They were fasting for the government. They were praying for Do. Why Do them were prosecuting other people? Why Do them were chasing other people? Why the other people that were doing they were hurting people? And no, I still praying. They'll be passing around having 30-day fast. Jesus not get what to do. Jesus not go save Israel. And that useless thing that you got going on in our country. Jesus will go put him more in. They ain't ready yet. Jesus got time for your Liberian. You'll be there yet. Jesus had time for you 1989 all the way to 2002. Jesus had time for you. Y'all be fooling around. You're fooling around. Well, yeah. Oh my,
thank you so much, Steve. So we're overstayed. Thank you for coming on. Folks, thank you so much. I want to say thank you to my guests. Sorry the light went off in Liberia. And let me say this too. I know some of you asking, you got proof. That's the same thing that George, where people were asking if I have proof. You can go find your proof, okay? I was talking, I don't know which proof you're talking about. I don't know precisely what you're talking about. You want to talk to me about proof, then you got to be concise about what you're talking about. I'm talking about the death of the people. If we came to George, we are. Everything I say, I have proof. Do you need me to post those pictures? Those happening under his wing. In fact, I'm just going through my Facebook stuff here and talk about other things that happen. How we took USA money over $50 million and we spend it. how we spent $26 million and say we'll map up. So I know what I'm talking about. Instead of building rails or walls, it would be good to drop those walls and acknowledge how we traveled when we were giving power, okay? Then we can face the Liberian people and say, you know what, we made a mistake. But I can tell you, I will say this, I say to everybody else, those who say, Josh, we love Liberia. If you truly love Liberia, he will find the best person that he knows, because Liberia's biggest problem is the economy. Somebody who is looking not to steal. Somebody who is able to build, who has built before, who knows what it's like to build, maybe take broken stuff and repair it and build it back better. That's what Liberia needs. He will look for that person. He will join that person. He will raise the person hand up, whatever concession he wants to make. Okay? And then I'm going to stop here. Let me say it to everyone. This is where I'm going to start. Sis Letty, welcome. All of you, Brother Joda, welcome. You promise and you stay up all night. Thank you so much. Please go to bed so you can get ready to go to work tomorrow. And those of you whose name I cannot see at this point, I want to say thank you for logging in. Brother Japa, Jesus is coming soon. Winston, Ben Jonah, the troublemaker, you here? Yes, yes. Toby, Brother Toby, Sua Morris, who all I got here? Merlin, Steve, Sis Miada, Sis, who all, yes. Most of you, I can't see y'all because you're going all the way up. I want to say thank you for tuning in. God bless. But I want you to remember this. When Doe took over, when the first set of people were killed, when the second group, there were 5 people and had a lot of young people in it. Had an 18-year-old, I used to think Nelson Doe were actually 21, but he was 18. There were a lot of young people with Thomas Winston. Those, they have some fear of the Liberian people. He called the elders and the Zoes and the chief. And he said, this is what my brothers have done to me. What should we do? Y'all listen, let me tell you. They told you, when you're traveling and you see a tree fall on the road in front of you, that you think it will slow you down while coming back, you call it down. Doe came back and they put all 5 people on firing squad. While you people are talking about your metaphor, I'm going back into history. For the Hutu and the Huti, to the tree cutting down on your way with Doe, to the bottom coming off in 1990, that got all of us scattered. I want you to remember that. So, Genghis Khan dehumanizing Liberian people, calling them Baple or Buga. Remember that. This would be my night. Usually I do an hour. I stay longer than I should have. I want to say thank you so much to everybody. All right, we can do better. We have tried. We are told us he's not a politician. He's a celebrity. I agree with him, and I support him that. Bouaka has failed. The UP-led government has failed. They're all Liberian. They're Alexander Cummings with proven record, an economist. They're Tianwan Gonklo, an advocate and a lawyer who has stood the test of time. Simeon, I think it's Freeman, who is a business owner, an entrepreneur. Let me just put it this way, okay? You have those people. We're not trying them. We can scrutinize them. We can bring them on the table. We can see what they would do, how they would do it, where have they done it. And we can talk about that. Let's do Thursday. Prince, because I put my number here for you to call. I have to leave now because the stuff is too long now. Okay, I don't want to do 2 hours. So let's do Thursday and let's talk before then. Yeah. So that's it, everyone. I'm gonna leave you with I was gonna leave you with Boakai, one of his many talks, but I've already okay, so I'm gonna play this back and I'm gonna end with this with all of you guys. Actually, I'm gonna end with a little boy talking. What's his name? What a little boy name talking. Okay, let me just play Boakai and I'm gonna play the little boy later. I'm out.
Than 79 years. We ought to ask ourselves, are we where we should be? But we're not complaining about the past. I always say, forget about the past. Don't cause the darkness, turn the light on. We hear a lot of criticism from people, but don't mind them. They don't live here. We live here. We know what we want for our people. When you
I'm going to stop there. 145 years, 180 years per se. 45 of those years, Boakai had worked and lived for the government. We educated his children. We educated him. We gave him job. We put our nation in his hands. Okay? So, he had an opportunity to change the nation. And he's failing just like those who came before him. So he's not any different. I'm gonna finish with this young man right here. The way I'm gonna finish with. There he is. Hopefully we can. And this is it. His name is follow him on Facebook.
The law. The law say the law is the law. We accept. Because so many people in my comment section saying that the law is the law. So Yeke should leave. Fine. The law is the law. The law say after 3 months, when you're working in any company or any private institution, after 3 months, they should employ you. Some people now work for more than 10 years in private company. They have never gotten employment letter. They can sack them at any time. The law is the law, right? The law is the law. There are so many things that are going on in the country that the law is not living up to, but you're saying the law is the law, right? People who are importing goods in the country that are selling wholesale, they are not to sell retail, they are selling retail. The law is the law, right? The law is the law. Beer Martin, what is in the agreement? Every house, company house, so also get running water, flush toilet. They don't have it there. The law is the law, right? Nobody running behind it to go vote them out. Nobody running behind it to chase them. The law is the law. They got companies that are working here, that are not paying our people and taking billions of dollars from their country. The law is the law, right? They are fighting the other side of the law. They are protecting the other side of the law. The law is the law. There are communities